I feel that I've had a lot of experience at that early stage of getting something from scratch off the ground.
Yep.
And you really have to be open-minded in the opportunities. You have to take those opportunities very quickly if they present themselves. And, momentum's everything. So if you do get that opportunity, you need to run with it. If we had a great US client, for example, and, that was profitable, obviously, it was something that we looked to establish that relationship, then I would have no hesitation in setting up an office in the US and looking to establish some kind of presence there.
And so what would you need? So let's say skills-wise, because this is one thing I've always struggled with, because I come from a very technical background.
Yeah.
And I think I get caught in that sometimes when you try and apply that to entrepreneurship, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs don't really have deep skills in a particular area, but they can see an opportunity and a vision, are prepared to just go for it, whether they've got the deep knowledge or not. And I was like, and I've always struggled with that because I don't know, it's this imposter syndrome thing, right? Where you're like, oh, I don't actually know enough. Do I know enough to compete? So
you know what I think it is? It's you're very details orientated. You've got that engineer background. I obviously work with engineers and I understand their mentality and the way they look at a problem, and they need to know as much as they can about the problem. Whereas I need to know an overview of the problem, and then I need to kind of think, okay, how can I get a wedge into that problem that I've got a solution for. So I'm quite flexible in that I don't need to know all the details to make that kind of decision or leap forward. And it's calculated, it's strategic, but it's also it's probably a bit of naivety and that is you don't know what you don't know until you get into it.
But I like this idea of a wedge. But so does that mean like you've already invested in relationships behind the scenes?
Yes.
And so okay, here's a US client. They want a particular set of resources. I know I can get those resources. Even if I couldn't do this job right now, I could facilitate and find the people to do it. And so is that like the main thing you're looking for, is like going, okay, or how much of that do you need to have in place? Like, or you just like trust yourself going, look, I'll find people.
Yeah.
Let's get the foot in the door.
Yeah, no, I've got something at the moment that is very interesting. It's the skill sets that we've been asked for that, one, they're looking for exceptional developers.
Okay.
It's a mission critical government agency, and it's they literally said, we've got a lead within the company. He'll be doing the technical recruiting. His standard is here, so high, and we try to have that kind of standard for all of our jobs. But he said, look, I need 4 developers. Well, the whole team is like 6 to 8 people across kind of QA, reporting, and a couple of JavaScript developers. But these 4 developers that he's after, literally, he wants leaders. He wants people to have that ownership. He wants problem solvers, and he wants them to be exceptional. Where you run with the project, it's down to you. Which, as contractors, people obviously take ownership of their work, but they don't take ownership of the whole project as such.
And especially it's a bit hard to expect the contractor to do that, right?
It is.
Unless you're there for multiple years.
Absolutely.
That's a high expectation of someone who's only going to be there a few months.
It is. And it's a 6-month contract. And they've even said, look, if you smash it in 4 months, there's a bonus. It's like, wow, the standards are high and you've got high expectations. But it's an interesting, and what's interesting to me is the opportunity. So we've got the opportunity to work with them if all goes well, and we've at the moment we're looking for those resources. Finding the exceptional devs that are free, that fit that criteria, that can lead a team. Is quite a hard ask at a short, turning it around within a month. So that's something we're looking at. But what's interesting and exciting to me is that opportunity, and this particular company, which is a global company that are doing government agency work. So if we can do that well, that is a huge cap in our feather. Feather in our cap. That's huge, and it's something that'll be, we can use that to establish that relationship with that company, and there'll be more work to come. But that sets the bar high for other companies that we talk to. In the type of work that we've delivered and stuff. So they're the type of things that get me really excited about the opportunity for this business in particular, which is staff augmentation, contracting, and building that team, because the resources and the people that we've got in partnership in that respect are as keen as I am to build that business. So it's quite exciting. So I'm really interested to see how it develops over the next year or so.
Take a moment, hit the subscribe and the notify bell. You can like, comment and share, as well as find more resources at prostapp.com.